Okay, this is the tutorial that will wrap up lesson 8. This will be for lesson 8E and 8F. I'm going to go ahead and start out with 8E. And what it wants us to do is, this is another M-text or note lesson, so it wants us to use multi-line text. So I'm going to go ahead and type in M-text. And it says specify first corner. It actually tells me in the directions it wants the first corner to be 7, 7. And the opposite corner it wants to be 14, 10. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and change this to Comic Sans, since that seems to be what we're using. I will change this to 0.25, but I'm going to change that to 0.25 in a little bit. And I'm just going to go ahead and start typing in what they want me to type in. Okay. Oops. I'm going to change AutoCAD to draft site. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And what you're probably going to notice is this is in the way of what I did before. Because you're going to be doing this on a fresh CAD deal, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And what is happening is that is at 7, 10, and then this down here is at 14, 3. And I believe that was supposed to be at 14, 10. This one's at 14, 10. Okay. And so what we need to do now is we need to go down to the directions, and it wants us to make the width to be 4. So I need to go back in here first of all, because I think I forgot something. So I can usually do that by double clicking. Yeah, what I forgot to do is I forgot to change the width. It's still at 1 up here. I need to change that to 0.25. So change that to 0.25. Go ahead and click OK. And now it looks something like that, which is much better than what it was before. But now it even wants us to make another change, and I can show you what it wants us to do here. If you right click and go to properties, it shows us that the height is 0.2, but the width of the M-text is 7, and it wants the M-text to be only 4 wide. So I'm going to go ahead and change that one right there to 4 and hit tab, and now it will look just like it does in the book. And everything is looking good. Okay, so I need to go ahead and should be at 0.25. I don't know why it keeps changing off of 0.25. So there we go. That's at 0.25, and you can see that the width will still be at 4. And then I need to, it looks like, bold a couple of words. It looks like practice all needs to be bolded. I'll highlight all and bold that, and then the word really needs to be bolded. And we'll go ahead and bold those two, click OK, and now when I click on this guy, you can see that the text is 1/4 of an inch high, which is what it should be, and it's 4 wide, which is what it should be. And this is what it will look like when you use Comic Sans. The books looks a little bit different because they're using sans serif, and if we had sans serif, ours would probably line up exactly like theirs does. But this is what it should look like. So there you go. That's 8E. And finally, moving on to 8F. This isn't something I use very often. As a matter of fact, this is probably the only time I use it is mirroring text. But I'll show it to you. What they want me to do is to go ahead and do single line text. So DT enter. I'm just going to type in, we'll make it 1 inch high. That's fine. And we'll type in single line text. And then I'll do the same thing doing multi-line text. So M-text. And I have it as 1 high. I'll do the same font. So there you have it. They look exactly the same, but they are a bit different. So this one's probably a little bit easier to move. So I'm just going to ortho off and try and make these line up as best I can. Okay. So there they are. And then what it wants us to do is basically it wants us to mirror them. So I'm going to highlight them both. I'm going to go to mirror. I'm going to draw a line straight down using ortho and hit enter. And there they are mirrored. But that's what it looks like in on the second part. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy these guys. And I'm going to put them directly above and see if I can get it to match what it does on the book. And what it wants us to do in order to make it look like it does on the first part is we need to change the command of mirror text. And that's mirrortext. And it's currently on 0. That's the value. If I change that to 1, so I'm just going to type in 1 and hit enter. And now if I mirror these two guys right here, it should look like exactly like it does in the book. I'll go ahead and hit enter, and there you have it. It's mirroring going the opposite way. So it's all about changing mirror text from 0 to 1 or 1 to 0 depending on which one your computer is on. But you should be able to experience both, and you should be able to get it to look like this. So that's 8E and 8F, and that should wrap up lesson 8. Try and save each of those as a separate file. So I'll be looking at 8A, 8B, 8C, 8D, 8E, and 8F, and I'll come around and check those for points. We'll see you in lesson 9.